and turn on.
On YouTube?
Yes. Once it has to, I think.
That's alright.
Yes.
Shabbat on page 11 in your Siddur if you have one at home, or in the electronic prayer book. And we'll take this moment to welcome Shabbat in song, to give us the space to move into Shabbat, to take a deep breath. On the bottom of page 11, the words mean, when I keep Shabbat, God watches over me. Shabbat is a sign forever between God and me. Ki Eshmera Shabbat.
Now, at Temple Beth David, we've been working with a wonderful task force of lay leaders, thinking about how can we hope to reopen this summer and invite people in a safe way to the sanctuary. And one way is to think about, rather than singing out in full voices, to hum, or maybe sing in a quieter lullaby voice. And actually, we usually sing this song Lai Lai Lai, but it was written in the beginning with humming. So we're going to try humming it tonight. You're welcome to hum along, and we can start to see how humming feels.
Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully it's good to take that moment to welcome a little quiet into your homes as we come together to celebrate Shabbat. Not only is it Shabbat, it's June 19th, an important day in American history. We'll share a little bit more about that later. And not only these two reasons to celebrate, also we're joined tonight by the Wasserman family from their home as Daniel Wasserman will be called to the Torah tomorrow morning as a bar mitzvah. So many good reasons to be together tonight. As has been our custom, we have been offering Shabbat greetings from different members of our Temple Beth David family, and we are delighted tonight to bring a Shabbat greeting from Lori Friedman. And Lori has asked us to share these words, and she is sharing a picture of herself as well. Hello, my name is Lori Friedman, and I live in Dedham. I have been a member of Temple Beth David for around 7 years, and I am proud to serve on the Board of Trustees and as the Temple's fundraising committee chairperson. I continue to be dismayed by what has happened in this country over the past 5 months. It is hard to remain calm and hopeful in light of all of the challenges we are all facing during these unprecedented times. To overcome these emotions, I have focused on having an attitude of gratitude. Every morning when I wake up and before I go to sleep each night, I recite a list of things that I am most grateful for. Among this important list is Temple Beth David, and especially the many friends that I have made over the past 7 years from the Temple community. As the chair of the fundraising committee, I also want to personally thank each family who has donated to the Gifts from the Heart Fund this past year. I am delighted to share with all of you that we have exceeded our annual fundraising goal. More importantly, through your generosity, we continue to demonstrate our commitment to the wonderful programs and services that the Temple offers to our fellow congregants, and we continue to sustain the financial viability of the Temple for the future. These acts of loving kindness make me hopeful and extremely grateful to all of you. Wishing you a good week. Shabbat Shalom. Again, that Shabbat greeting came from Lori Friedman. Thank you, Lori. And we are now going to invite Daniel's mother, Stephanie, and sister, Sarah, to bless our Shabbat candles.
Gotta light it first.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadliv ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our
Shabbat
God.
Shalom.
Okay.
Are we done?
Shabbat Shalom to the Wasserman family. Again, Daniel will be leading a few other blessings during our service tonight. And as you can see, this is a little bit of an experiment for us, doing this by Zoom.
And YouTube. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Before L'Chadodi, I offer you this special prayer written by Rabbi Samuel Stahl, a colleague and friend of our Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi Henry Zub. He sent us this prayer this week. Rabbi Stahl is the Rabbi Emeritus of Temple Beth El in San Antonio, Texas. And this prayer comes from a collection of prayers from the Chautauqua Interfaith group. And this was especially written with Juneteenth in mind as we are marking and celebrating the 155th anniversary of the freedom of African Americans from slavery here in America. Rabbi Stahl writes the following words: "O God, our ultimate source of healing and strength, we need your support now more than ever before. We are living in toxic times. In our nation, extremism once lingered at the margins of society. Now it has commanded an acceptable place in the very center. O God, we must confess that we deceive ourselves by believing that we are free of such racism and prejudice, that we don't harbor these ugly sentiments, especially of those whose skin color differs from our own. Yet our souls are stained. Help us to confront our deception, O God. Though we may not have consciously mistreated our African American brothers and sisters, we have silently stood by and ignored their plight. We have not raised our voices in protest as security guards trail them in stores like criminals, as neighbors stare suspiciously at them as they walk or ride their bicycles in their neighborhoods, as police officers falsely accuse them of traffic violations, as bank officials refuse them loans, and as landlords rent them unsafe houses ridden with disease. Teach us to remember the ancient religious legend that you, O God, took dust of different colors from the four corners of the earth to create Adam, and then implanted in him a soul which is your divine image. You did so to remind us that all of us are descended from the same multiracial human being, and thus we are equally sacred in your eyes. Stir us to heed the challenge of the prophet Malachi. Have we not all one God? Has not one God created us? Why then do we deal treacherously one against the other? Fill us with zeal to eradicate our nation's original sin of systemic racism, and to heal our nation by upholding the dignity and humanity of each of its citizens. Amen.
Amen. Continuing now with L'Chadodi on pages 20 and 21, welcoming Shabbat into our hearts and into our homes. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and stand and face our entryways and bring Shabbat at the same time into all of our dwelling places.
to our call to prayer, page 28. Join with me in the English on page 31, our blessing for creation. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. We'll read on page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevon Malchuto to invite our bar mitzvah Daniel Wasserman to lead us all in Ve'ahavta, page 36.
You're on.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela Asher Anochi mitzabecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha b'vitecha u'lavtecha v'aderech u'shachbecha u'fkumecha u'shartam leot al yedecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Utavtam amizot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Yashikoach, Daniel, thank you. It's hard to imagine what it would be like to be a slave, and perhaps that's the reason that we pray twice a day, Michamocha, a song of redemption, reminding us of our people's history long ago. In the grand sweep of Jewish history, 155 years is not very much, and it was just 155 years ago, this June 19th, as we're observing this Juneteenth holiday, that Union soldiers marched into Galveston, Texas, and announced the Emancipation Proclamation 2 years after President Lincoln had issued it, thereby ending the Civil War and also ending just the horror of human beings and owning other human beings in the United States. The reality is that it's not humans who free other humans. That's how God made us, to be free. And as much as Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves themselves who took steps to resist their masters and resist the institution and call for abolition however they could, also took their freedom, just like our ancestors did when they marched forth from Egypt, claiming what was rightfully theirs, being children of God, marching towards a promised land. There's still so much work to do towards that redemption. Tonight we're going to take the old reggae song, Redemption Song by Bob Marley, and add the melody to our ancient words, remembering that we sang and we still sing these songs of freedom. We're on page 40.
Of peace spreading over all of us throughout our homes, our country, and throughout the world. We'll have the Hebrew in your Siddur. You may not have the English, but hopefully you can still join with us. Hashkivenu Adonai Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu Page 44. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, Asot et haShabbat, v'torotam levidolam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, misheshet yamim, asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayi nafesh, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayi nafesh. Page 46, we'll move into our Amidah. Begin all together and then take a few moments for our own silent prayer, adding the prayers from our hearts. Adonai, Sefatai tiftachu fi tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav L'Hoshia, Morid hatal,
מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Continue with a few moments of silent prayer. Come back together on page 60 for our prayer for shalom, for peace and wholeness.
Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim
with our prayer for healing on page 253. We take this moment to pray for all of our loved ones who are ill at this time, members of our families, members of our temple community, and we pray for all who are healers, who are caring for those who are ill. We especially pray for Greta Brun-Kessler, Colin Monroe, Jerry Seligman, Renee Todris, Das Wellens, Mary Lou Hole, Janet Watson, Angela, Paul Robillard, Elizabeth Hill, Kelso Silva, Enrico Mascaro, Deborah Booker, Lee Casper, Amy Syke, Lindley Menard, Alyssa Mendez, Link Medeiros, Robert Bloom, Annalee Stone, David Nickinson, Arnie Cohen, Susan Rothstein, Rachel Bat-Shulamit, Bernard Tarr, Sharon Rawlings Kramer, Benjamin Horowitz, Sora Esther Bat-Batia, Muriel Rausch, Bradley Dichter, and Ashley. Join together as we pray for their healing.
Shabbat Shalom. Yes, we can. Those words rang out across our nation. It's hard to believe now, over 10 years ago, when then Senator Barack Obama was running for president. Yes, we can. These are inspiring words, no matter who utters them or whether or not you agree with their policies. To hear, yes, we can, that's an uplifting statement. Those words are full of hope and possibility. Yes, we can. It feels good to say. In this week's Torah portion, Shlach Lecha, we literally have the Jewish equivalent of yes, we can. Moses has sent 12 spies into the land of Israel to evaluate its resources and assess the challenges of conquering it. The spies returned to report that the land does indeed flow with milk and honey and abundant produce. 2 spies schlepped a cluster of grapes so big back from the promised land that they had to carry it on a huge stick between 2 men. But then 10 of the spies burst this idealistic bubble. The people who inhabit the land are very powerful, they said. The cities are large and fortified, they cried. We cannot attack those people who live there, for they are stronger than we are, and we look like grasshoppers in our eyes. And so too we must have looked like grasshoppers in their eyes. Only 2 spies, Caleb and Joshua, brought forth a different vision of what was possible. Caleb hushed the people and said, "Let us by all means go up, for we shall surely overcome it." And if you'll permit me, it sounds better in the Hebrew, "Alo na'ale ki yachol nuchal." Listen to the double verbs in the Hebrew, emphatically affirming what Israel can accomplish. Alo na'ale, up, we can go up. Ki yachol nuchal, for we can and we will. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Caleb and Joshua urged on the Israelites. Notice that they did not deny the assessment of their colleagues. Significant challenges, even dangers, lay ahead of them. But their assessment of what was possible was radically different. Their will to see a vision, their will to actualize that vision to fruition, gave them heart. The Israelites could not see what was possible. Deflated by the spies' self-defeating report, the Israelites melted into a pool of self-pity, tears, fears, and retreat. Better for us to have died in Egypt, they declared. Better yet, we should go back to Egypt rather than meeting the unknown hurdles on the horizon. For this defeatist attitude, the Israelites received a harsh punishment. The spies and all their generation would have to die out in the wilderness over 40 years of wandering. Only those born a new generation in the expanses of the desert with the fortitude to meet uncertainties and the hope of freedom would reach the promised land. Rabbi Menachem Mendel Kotz comments that though the spies did not lie about what they found, their negativity and lack of faith in what they could accomplish created a false reality. Nachmanides, the medieval Spanish commentator, agrees. The spies seemingly fulfilled the instructions and reported what they saw, but our commentator notes that sometimes our bias and our doubts become self-fulfilling. Our attitudes can dictate and shape a situation. The power of positive thinking should not be confused with seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. Positive thinking accepts the reality of significant obstacles and challenges, but focuses our energy on scaling the mountains that rise in our path. There are examples of people living with cancer using the power of hope and positive thinking to focus on their body's healing abilities. World-class athletes visualize themselves triumphing in the race or winning the championship. They picture themselves taking the exact steps that they will employ when the event or game takes place. This sense of hope, focus, and desire formed the basis of establishing a Jewish state. Theodor Herzl declared, "If you will it, it is no dream." Sometimes the key to meeting the intimidating goal or solving the seemingly insurmountable problem is our will. Do we want it badly enough? Have realistic hope, fortitude, and faith to make an honest effort. Sometimes we might fail or fall short. If we start with a yes we can attitude, we are more likely to overcome than if we start from the place of the spies, that our efforts will be for nothing, that we have failed before we started, that Egypt is preferable to embarking on the uncharted, sometimes daunting future. We only arrive at promised lands by going forward with conviction. We all struggle with the voices inside that say we can't, that we'll never be able to, that it's impossible, that we're not good enough, that we are small. But Yachol Nuchal, yes, we can. We might all feel overwhelmed by what our current moment brings, a pandemic, political discord, deeply ingrained systems of racism, a world desperate for solutions to climate change. Yes, we can fight for racial and economic recovery. We can make choices that support health and safety in a pandemic world. We can dream of new sustainable economic systems that will allow humanity to thrive on a healthy planet. We can support one another, our families, those in need. We can see our Temple Beth David community through this moment. We can continue to bend history toward that arc of justice and away from status quo, cynicism, and greed. And how do we know we can? Because hope, faith, positive thinking, and sheer willpower have enabled us to do it in the past. This is God at work. So let's go up, for surely we can. Yes, we can. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher koach. The great news is, as wonderful as this drosh was on Shalach Lecha, tomorrow morning when Daniel Wasserman is called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah, he will be teaching about Parashat Bechukotai, which was, I don't know, about a month ago now, but because the date was postponed. So we actually get to have two really meaningful Torah lessons this Shabbat. So you can tune in tomorrow morning with our lay-led minyan at 9 a.m. Through Zoom, and prayer and Torah study with our Chaver group. And 10:30 a.m. we would really encourage all of you to join our Shabbat morning service when Daniel is called to the Torah at 10:30. The same live stream channel that you're viewing now. We are excited that we'll be in person with the Wasserman family in our sanctuary, but again, it's a limited capacity, just those who know that they're coming. But we would love to extend really to our whole temple community to support Daniel tomorrow morning. So lots to celebrate this weekend. We've got a Naughty Youth Group event tomorrow evening, and please check your weekly shofar email. There's a lot of information in there, lots of ways that you can give to our community, give to others, and learn and pray and nourish your souls. So lots to come this week. And again, next Friday, Brotherhood will be leading Shabbat services at 6:30 p.m.
And that will be via Zoom, and that Zoom registration will come out in the weekly shofar next week.
We're going to continue with Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גאולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We take this moment to remember loved ones who are no longer with us as we reflect on the ways that their memories continue to bless our lives. You can find Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. We are especially remembering these loved ones who have passed away in recent weeks. We remember Harriet Boehm, mother of David, mother-in-law of Stacy and grandmother of Melanie. We are remembering Barry Greenwald, father of Jeff Greenwald, father-in-law of Suzanne, and grandfather of Alec and Gabe. Cynthia Pincus Russell, mother of Jeremy Pincus, mother-in-law of Sherry, and grandmother of Benjamin and Talia. Erwin Cohen, the uncle of Debbie Spingarn, and Richard Chrysler, son of Florence Chrysler. We remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit occur this Shabbat: Alden Aronson, Eva Cohen Adelson, Jean Ann Hoffman, Lily Kroch, Harold Reinstein, Belle Rothblatt, Shirley St. Amour, Jeffrey Lee Stoloff, Beatrice Walensky, Anna Benjamin, Harry Blackman. Give you a moment to name any other loved ones in your hearts. We'll join together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, be'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing.
We're going to close with some words of hope. Od tirei, kama tov yihye. Wait and see how good it will be. Yes, it will be good. We're on page 348 in your Siddur. We'll just do one verse, but thinking about as kids start vacation, know it's a little bit of a different vacation, but words that look forward to the future.
And after we conclude, we'll turn it back over to Daniel Wasserman to lead us all in Kiddush from his home again. Mazel tov to the whole Wasserman family. We're excited to see you tomorrow morning. Thank you again to Lori Friedman for offering our Shabbat greeting this Shabbat.
O tirei, kama tov yihye, bashana habaa. O tirei, kama tov yihye, bashana habaa. Bashana habaa, neshev al ha-mirpeset v'nitzvot ziborim nodedot. ילדים בחופשה, ישחקו תופסת מן הבית לבין השדות. או תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. או תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. Yai lai lai, ya lai lai, yai lai lai, ya lai lai, yai lai lai, ya lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai, yai la lai lai lai, yai lai lai, ya lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai.
Shabbat Shalom. We'll invite you to get your Kiddush cup and some challah at home, and we'll invite Daniel to lead us in the Shabbat blessings.
Click it.
Alright, okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Can you hear us?
Go ahead, Jim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Parei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher tishad b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, B'shabbat kodsho b'ahavat v'ratzon, Hinhilanu, Zikaron lema'asech v'reishit, Ki hu yom tehila l'mikrayim kodesh, Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Ki vanu v'harta, V'yotanu kidashta, B'kol ha'amim, B'shabbat kodshecha, V'ahava uvratzon, Hinhilanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mevadesh HaShabbat.
Everyone.
L'chaim.
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 L'chaim, Dan.
Mazel tov.
And then we need to do the motzi.
Yes.
We're all hungry.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom, Daniel.
Mazel tov. It's so nice to share Shabbat with you, Wassermans. It's like Shabbat b'bayit all over again. So nice. Good to see you. We'll see you in the morning.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.